Get to the front, scanning who get going down. Once they hit that ground, I'm still watching the mirror on the right hand side. I'm watching the mirror on the left hand side, glancing back at the kids, watching until they get off, making sure they stay in the grass, look around, close my doors, look around again and make sure ain't nobody around when I'm pulling off, like little babies and stuff like that. I have to still watch. You know what I'm saying? I ease off. And then start back all over again. You can't just be in a rush like that with that. Because I'm telling you, it's really blind spots. I've seen it. I have seen it. Yes, I have. I have seen it, baby. You got to be cautious and be careful when you drive, and when you drop your kids, you should block both lanes off. That's how the buses do around here where I live. However, L'Oreal, we cannot just do that all the time. We can't just, because let me tell you something. When you slant that bus, so just say for instance, I'm on a 2-lane of going forward you got cars going this way. I'm going this way and cars going that way. So if I was to slant my bus, the cars is coming this way. They don't see a stop sign. Although they know a stop sign is on the bus. But if I slant that bus and if they not paying attention and they hit the bus, I'll be at fault. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm on their lane. And they probably weren't paying attention, but it can look like I probably hit them. You see what I'm saying? So it'll be our fault. So I don't try to slant the bus all the time. However, in the neighborhood, but they still, again, when they see reds, they automatically know to stop. 2-lane it, however you call it, you still got to stop on that side. So if you see a bus on the other side and they stop and they got their reds on, you stop too. Stop the traffic. Everything has to stop because you got to think about it. Although this child getting off on the highway or something, and let me just make this more specifically. If it's a highway with grass in the middle of it and U-turns and stuff in the middle of it, they don't have to stop on that side. You see what I'm saying? They don't have to. However, if it's 2 lanes right here and you see the turning lane thing in the middle, and then you see 2 more other lanes right there, I don't know what kind of highway you call it, but still, again, I still stop. Because you don't know if it may be a little child that get off. It may be a child with autism. It may be a child, anybody. It could be a child. And that child could possibly just say, you know what, I want to run across the road. And by them running across the road, this, that, and the third, and if cars still going and my stop sign out, that child going to be hit. But if both sides of the traffic stop, that child to be safe, however, until we get the child back. You get what I'm saying? You just never know what can happen. You just always got to prepare yourself for the unexpected. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. But however, I just, tell all 236 of y'all on here, if you ever get into a situation where, you upset at the driver and stuff like that, or you may be upset, or you probably have something personal against a driver, don't never try to, do things while a person is, on the school bus. You get what I'm saying? Just hold on to whatever that you got to do, because the thing is, blocking in buses and, not allowing the bus to go through, and having us, when a bus have to turn different ways, and we can't bag up and all that due to blind spots and all that stuff like that. This how the 18-wheeler. You get what I'm saying? The 18-wheeler can probably bag up at this and the third, although they got blind spots too, but still, again, they still can do it. They not handling cargo. You see what I'm saying? We got little kids that we driving. We got other lives. You know what I'm saying? A truck, that ain't nothing but fucking logs and, merchandise and shit like that. You get what I'm saying? That's not a life. A life is something that we carry. Passengers and stuff like that. So just don't even try to even block no bus in. Just let them go by. Let them go through. Because if you can't let them go through, baby, they can call in on you. And when you get called in, baby, and the police arrive, shit, you going to be in some trouble. But, however, I like to let them see it through that window. If they ain't trying to let me out, baby, I let them see me pick up that goddamn thing. And when I do this, that's when they want to move. Then I put it back down. Then I go ahead and proceed on, because I'm not going to ask you, can you move your vehicle for me? Or can you let me by? Or this and that. I ain't doing all that. I'm just going to call on in. When I call on in, it's over with. You have to stop if it's a straight four-way lane. But if a median is there, they don't have to stop. Okay, right, Pamela. That's what I'm trying to explain. Because I don't know much about highways. However, the highway that I was on, I know that, like you said, if it's a straight four-way lane. Oh, you said like straight forward. But I thought that you had to stop too if you on the other side. And this and the third. Like if it's no median in the middle. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't a median in the middle. So that's why I say I just see a stop regardless. When I see a bus stop, I'm gonna stop too. Do they take pictures of people that pass when stopped? Yes, they do that. On some buses, not all, but some. When not for here. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how else it is, but like I said, they got cameras and they can see everything, like far as accidents and all that stuff. That's why when you catch, like, it be all kind of stuff, you know. I just hate for people to call and lie on me. I don't like liars. I can't stand liars. So if my kids lie to me, I tell the kids, you know what I'm saying? And if I heard you say something and you see it telling me, I ain't do this, I ain't do that, I ain't curse, or I ain't do this, I ain't do that, when you telling me that and I know what I heard or I know what I seen, I tell them, you might as well just go ahead and be quiet because I cannot stand a liar. So, you know, and yes, I'm going to say it. You know, I cannot stand a liar. If you lying, you might as well just be quiet because they're going to make me even more, you know, upset to make you, you know, write you up and stuff like that. So you're ready to be quiet and just take your consequence. If I say move on up to the front, sit all right here. I may tell you to go back to the back, you know, or whatever like that. You just got to just get your little punishment. Your punishment is to come on up to the front because a lot of, like most kids, love to sit at the back. I don't know why, but they love to sit at the back of the bus. And there's no median and no median in there. You must stop. But hey, boo, I'm just coming on. How you been? I've been okay, girl. Just over here begging for a couple tokens of love. You got something for me, boo? You got something for me? But nah, I'm, you know, far as with this bus, so like I be tired. I don't know what it is, but I really believe it got something to do with me, with the pushing and pulling and turning and all that stuff. All the stop. Then the air constantly rolling on you. Then I turn it off. I turn my air off and turn it off. And I don't let my kids talk to me while I'm driving. If they talk to me while I'm driving, I write them up for it. It's because I rule it as a distraction. As the truck over, we do not back up on any roads with cars or pedestrians around. We have blind spots too. If we back up for an emergency on a city street, we will use our horn. But we only bad to drop loads and trailers. Yeah, Bird, I be feeling so crazy because in the morning time, if you got to bag up and stuff like that, and you got to hit that horn, people probably think that you blowing for them, but you really not. You really blowing the back up and stuff like that to alert people that's behind you. Cause we do it on the yard too when we bagging up and putting the bus back where it came from. We gotta do that too on the yard. Anyway, anytime we backing up, we gotta do that. Well, we backing up for a little while, you know. I be hitting that horn. They be like bump, 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 bump. And then I bag on up. And then if I'm still bagging up, bump, 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 bump. I go crazy on that horn. I go crazy on that horn because it be over with. I drive trains bus to school bus here, man. They had cameras on the south side for real. This shit pop up at the back. Baby, I monitor all the time. And then my kids, what gets me, the big kids, when they get out, they be like, thank you for the ride. Thank you for the ride. All right, Tobiase. I be like, all right, later. See y'all later. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. You know what I'm saying? And then they, thank you for the ride. I say, y'all ain't got to thank me for the ride. I say, y'all need to thank the school district for the ride. They paid for it. Not me. I ain't paid for it. I'm getting paid. You heard me? See, I'm getting paid for it. You, look, you thank the school district for it. Thank them for the ride. Shit. They paid for it. Just like I told them. Well, I ain't telling them, but I was like, y'all don't have to thank me for a ride. You know what I'm saying? But they always know. I tell them all the time, it's a privilege. I say it's a privilege to ride the bus because you don't have to ride. Because when I get to moving them up to the front, they don't want to sit to the front. I say, well, go home, tell your parent, call in. When you tell her to call in, I said you can either ride or not, because I'm not going nowhere. I always tell them, I ain't going nowhere. You can make your own decisions on who gonna take you to school or this, that, but you don't choose bus drivers. You know what I'm saying? You don't choose nobody. You don't choose nobody. If they put me here, this is what they want me to do. I can't just say, oh, I don't want to do this no more. I want to go to this one. I can't do it. Shit. I wanna drive another one, but I ain't gonna be able to do it. I ain't gonna be able to do it. As a truck driver, we do not back up at any time. Right, that's what I'm saying. You don't see a lot of big vehicles bagging up out of the blue. We're not gonna bag up too often. And we gotta call in and let them know when we backing up. However, me, I don't. And I always tell people that I don't be calling in because I can handle the mines. You know what I'm saying? If it's something that I can't handle, I call in and let them know. But I'm not going to waste nobody's time on the radio saying, hey, I got to back up. And no, I ain't doing it. Now, if it's a tight space or something like that, and, hey, can I'm just, I need to back up. And they'll probably say you need some assistance. I mean, that's the only thing they're going to say. If I don't need no assistance, I'm not going to call in. But if I say, hey, I need to back up and I need assist, you know what I'm saying? If I'm calling in, I'm going to say I need assist. You see what I'm saying? Other than that, I'm not going to call in. That's just wasting my time. Bless to you. All jobs have been tried. Right. Yeah, you going to keep them safe and stuff like that. You going to keep them safe. You definitely going to keep the kids safe. Because and then ever since they called in, ever since I got wrote up, I've been really silent and, humble. I've been in a more better mood because that's probably what I needed. I needed was a humblement. I've been silent now and I've been really being more stricter and stuff like that because, like I tell them, baby, accidents happen so fast. So if I'm telling you to sit down, if I got to tell you multiple times to sit down and this, I shouldn't have to tell you that. I don't care if I'm sitting still. I want you to sit down. Because in the car, we're not standing up, right? When we sitting on the red light, we're not standing up, looking back. Oh, look at that Range Rover over there. Oh, look at the birds sitting over there drinking out the water fountain. Oh, we getting a skate rink over there. Oh, you see the skate rink? Nah, we ain't doing all that. We're not doing that. Not even when we sit there. I mean, when we sit still. We're not doing all that. Sorry, not sorry. It's not something that I like to do. Whew. But other than that, cousins, I think that's the only reason why I be tired. I be tired because of that. Because of 5:50 in the morning, and you get out about 8:30. You go home for about 9. You be at home for 9, 10, 11, and 12. That's 4 hours you at home. And then you go right on back. And I'll be getting off to about 4:30. You go back for 1:40. So I be up. She said that's what the kids say. And nah, they don't be saying that. I'm just making up examples. I'm being for real though. They, oh, look at this over here. Oh, look at that over there. Because they want to stand up and then, look at the other teachers and the other schools and stuff like that. I understand they been wanting to be seen and all that stuff and see their old teachers and stuff. Because, hey, I used to do the same thing. But however, I tell my kids, you don't talk outside this bus. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm going to write you up for obscene gestures in your body, outside the window, pretty much. That's what I'm going to do. Write you a right for that. Because you communicate with people outside. You don't communicate with nobody outside the bus. You see what I'm saying? I don't do that. Now, if somebody up on there and they staying foot or whatever like that, then, that's a different story. But however, if you communicate, you doing what you want to do, we not doing that. Hey, boo, I went to Burger King and I had a rodeo cheeseburger and fries. Girl, a big old cheeseburger and fries. What is a rodeo cheeseburger? I ain't seen that yet. Probably because I ain't ate Burger King. I ate Burger King when I did that. I think it was Saturday. Saturday I ate it. This past Saturday it was in Vicksburg and I ate it there. But I ain't seen nothing about it. You too, Cousin Margarine. You too, boo. I see you tomorrow. Melissa, hey, make sure y'all send a token of love to the CA Apple Pay or the chime if y'all got $1, $2, $3 or something like that. I gotta try to pay this light bill, girl. One thing about it, TC gonna write the hands up. Girl, yeah, one of them told me today. I said, get up here to the front. No, not really to the front, but, get up here to this seat. And I didn't even do that. I said, sit there and look out the window. I said, because I'm going to write you up. You always writing somebody up. Girl, I hit that Respucia. Lachey. I hit that Respucia in a minute, and I got that pen. I gave that look. And I got that pen and that paper. What's your name? How I spell it? And then they, girl, it's crazy. Them kids know they can talk back. And guess what? Did I write them up? I don't be wanting to write them kids up like that now. Sometimes you'll be like, yeah, I want to write, you don't want to write them up and stuff like that. But nah. It's like, because they'll eventually, it's like they'll be bad and then they'll get okay. And then, I just don't like for when you not to listen. Oh, shit. But I be realizing, some parents don't have rides and stuff. They don't have rides. They don't be having rides. But I told them this time, see, what I did was I ended up writing up kids. I had wrote up a whole bunch of kids. Well, not a whole bunch of them, but it was a good few. And they had been suspended out the bus. However, their parents do not know what they be doing up on the bus. And I got stopped one morning. When they got stopped, it was like, well, you let this child ride the bus, get back on the bus and this, that, and the third. I said, listen, it's really up to me. Yeah, I write it up or whatever like that, send it on in, let them know that, when you write up kids and stuff like that, if they ain't really gave you too much of hell or this, that, and that, you can give them some grace. However, if I write you up and then you get your referrals, I probably let you do like maybe 1 or 2 days. Although it may say 5 or, however many days you get. But I probably let you do probably 1 or 2 days, depending on how I feel. So if I say I can deal with it today, I just come out. If they can act good, yeah, they can ride. But if they don't know how to act, you can go and take them. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I do. So I end up letting everybody get back on the bus. And I told the parents this time, I said, okay. Because they should have got warnings. All of them should have. But however, I requested for them to have some days. But I said that I let their parents know. I said, look, this year I'm not doing all that hollering. I'm not doing all that stressing. I'm not doing that because of my, one of the parents, I talked to her. She had came to my house one time before for a gathering. We had a gathering, and I talked to her. And she was telling me about her skin because she got suffered from the same thing. And I told her, because you know why. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, yeah. So I told her, y'all can ride. But you mess up one more time, they going to get rolled up again. And this time, I'm not going to feel sorry. Remember, you want to be nice for so long. So I've been nice already. So if they mess it up, they going to be suspended. And that's just that. Because, I try to be the best in the night. Nice some ladies here. Hey, cousin, what's up, Brittany? A kid brought a gun today on the school bus, shaking my head. Where's Shamara? Where that happened at? Michelle say, however, I'm being for real. The ones that don't listen, you make them sit in the front. But L'Oreal, it's only 2 seats in the front. Everybody can't sit on the first seat. You see what I'm saying? Everybody cannot sit on the first seat. And that's the only thing I hate. Is that everybody cannot sit on the first seat. They all can't. They all cannot sit on the first seat. So, if you move one to the front, however, honestly, I don't really like sitting my bad kids on the front seat. It's kind of hard. You want to know why I say that, y'all? It's because sitting your good kids on the front, you don't have to worry about that problem. Or all that noise. You see what I'm saying? Right there behind you. So the good kids, they normally don't like to go to the back or something like that. So I pretty much let the kids sit where they want to sit. They got assigned seats, but I just got boys on one side, girls on the other side. That's how I got it. Yeah, I did say that when I first started driving, and I did. Oh, for real, Latricia, girl, you crazy. Is that a law? No, Red's no hey, boo. I smell bad. Everybody was rubbernecking. I just choose. It ain't a law or nothing like that. It's just that your big kids, not your big kids, but just you don't want to deal with all that noise because dealing with you already listening to the engine and stuff like that. Then you got some kids that actually come on there and pick at scabs and stuff like that and make themselves bleed. And then when they start bleeding and stuff like that, oh, I'm bleeding. Or I'm this or I'm that. And then they come up and you got to tell them, okay, where you bleeding at? Like, how this happened? And you can tell, that if they picking at a scab, they making themselves bleed and all this. It's just crazy because the bus driver is just not only the bus driver. The bus driver, the got doggone, the nurse and everything else. Like, it's just too much. It's about a school bus driving job is 10 million things in one. And it's crazy. It's crazy. So, but I definitely like it. But however, Shakia, it's kind of hard, being able to pay attention to 40 different kids or 30 kids or 35 kids. I know, Vicky, because you see how things is. You know what I'm saying? You see how stuff is. Like, it be hard. You know, a bus driver got to constantly look up and yell, um, and then me, I can't yell. I can't. I can't yell. I can't scream my voice. Because any little thing can distract you, man. And I know that. Any little thing can distract you. So that's why I try to stay in a good mood and try to, woosah. If I do get upset, woosah. Because, baby, it be bad. What you laughing at, Michelle? No, I'm being for real. Like, no, however, our auditions don't have monitors and stuff. However, I'm trying to get my sister. My sister she gonna try to do that. She gonna get hired. Me and her gonna be working together, me and Nene. But she gonna be a monitor. Because we need some monitors and stuff like that. So I've been trying to tell everybody, shit, if they ain't got nothing to do, come on and do them 2 hours, 3 hours in the morning, or whatever like that, or 2.5 hours in the morning, or you can say 2 hours in the morning, or whatever like that. Come monitor and come do what you need to do. Because, baby, we need the monitors. Because the monitors that we got, they transfer. So they may be on this bus for this week, and then, every week they switch, or they can switch out during the week. However they want to do it, they get to choose what they want gonna be in and stuff. Or however that they do it, I don't know. I just focus on the driver part. I know you're the youngest bus driver where you at. I am. I don't know how you know that, but I am. I'm the youngest one. A whoosh gonna take me out every time. Whoosha. A whoosha, baby. I'm talking about you gotta just sit there. Whoosha. I didn't know it was that many kids on the bus. Man, you'll never know. Cause shit, I mean, if you just add it all up, man, I'm talking about sometimes you get to certain stops, you probably have about 6, 7 kids. You already, like in the morning time, I really supposed to have like about 9 kids. You see what I'm saying? Right then and there, like for my first little stops, 9 kids. Then when I go to the other part, I got about shit. Them the other 20. About the other 20. About the other shit, 15. I mean, not 15. Shit, it's about 20, 22, maybe 23. Shit. You be having about 4, 5 different kids. Yeah, that's a lot of kids at one time. And they see it register now. What you mean, Lakeitha? That's why I told my sister, I said, girl, you ain't doing nothing. I said, baby, you better find your babysitter or something like that. You coming up there. Yeah, I got to help her with her application, put her application out or whatever like that. But she definitely coming. She said she'll do it. She said she'll do it. She ain't doing nothing else but just sitting there. She might well come out, sit up on the bus and help us out with getting these kids settled down. Sit in your seat, get to your seat. If I say no food, only thing you can bring is water. I mean, I don't care about no phones and all, no tablets and stuff like that. As long as you ain't recording and got the phone up in the air and stuff like that, I'm fine. But if you got it in the air and you throwing this or you making TikToks and stuff like that while I'm driving, don't do that. Because I don't want to be on your TikTok. You get what I'm saying? I'm well known on TikTok, so I don't want to be on it. I don't want to be on it. So that's how I be. I'm so sleepy, y'all. This is insane. I know y'all like, oh, T finna go to sleep. T finna go to sleep. Girl, rubbing these feet together. Shit, back to sleep I go. Shit, I don't think I would be able to take no shower tonight, cause I think I gotta wake up at 5:30. Hop in and be gone. I don't even know what I'm wearing. That's why I'm gonna have to go and get on there. There's a lot of kids. Hey, Red Snow, what's up? They're still, she said, just like registered for school in my school. Oh, for real? Happy birthday, Red Snow. Happy birthday, boo. My nose stopped. I'm gonna have to use these nasal spray. Hold on, y'all. Oh, oh. Take these goddamn pins off. That's probably why I feel hot. So I don't like them my winter pants I be putting on. Because in a little while for the tell y'all, oh shit, I'm reminded